Welcome back to Pine Tree State Restorations. And on the bench today is something very special. An 1861 58 cal Springfield rifle. This particular one is an 1862. And I bought this gun in a guy's closet. It had been sitting in the closet for 150 years, loaded. That's right, loaded. And when I got it, the stock was pure white from being so dry. I put 24 coats of tung oil on here, and it's still taking the tung oil. It's had a battlefield restoration in its lifetime. And the lock on this gun, well, we'll do a little more history first. This rifle was a 58 cal mini ball, and its effective range was 200 to 400 yards. These were rare at the beginning of the Civil War. In 1861, they didn't have very many. And then in 1862, they had more. This is a 62. And they made these until 1865 in Springfield, Mass. In 1863, they came out with the 1863 Springfield, which is a little bit different, but very similar. This gun, like I said, was still loaded, and the clean out screw and the nipple, which is right here, you can see, pretty crusty. So what I did was, I filled the end of the barrel up with some liquid WD-40, and I let that go into that powder and everything until I started to see it come out. Then I let the clean out plug in, put the nipple back in, which I had to heat that nipple up carefully. I used Croil and a little bit of heat, didn't want to set it off. I had it pointed in a safe direction before I put the WD in there, and I got that loose. Luckily, that came out. But I put the nipple back in, and I drilled out my blowgun so it would fit right over top of that nipple. And after I'd filled this up with WD-40 about up to here, and it started coming out, I took a high pressure air line, put it on the nipple, pointed the barrel in a safe direction, and pulled the trigger on the air line. And that blew the powder, the mini ball, and everything right out the barrel, like it was shot probably about 150 to 200 feet per second. And then I cleaned the inside of the barrel out. The powder didn't hurt anything in the barrel because the powder was high and dry. It never got wet, never got damp until I got it, the WD. Amazingly, that was fine. The inside of the barrel was pretty crusty. I scrubbed it. I soaked it in mystery oil, which is the best thing, in a little container I had made. I dropped it right in there, filled the barrel right up, let it sit for a long time, and destroyed several bore brushes going down through it, cleaning it out. I got it pretty clean. It's pitted, but it's a pretty clean bore, and now. But I mean, it's still very shootable. And like I say, I've been working on the stock, and I got all this off. It's got a few problems. It's got quite a few problems. It's got a broken bridle. Here's the bridle that goes on the lock, and you can see. Here's part of the bridle where it's busted right here. Okay. That's broke off. That's supposed to attach right there. Okay. That's part of the lock. That was the only thing that was broken on the lock was the bridle. And you can get a new one from S&S Firearms, and original ones. And they also make reproductions. I'm probably going to put an original one back on it, try to keep this best I can. These guns were in the white. They were polished. They weren't blued or anything. This is the original finish on the trigger guard. They're in the white. They were just polished. They were not blued or anything at the time. Here's the butt plate right here. So, this is blued. They did blue the butt plate. Somebody did at one time. But we're going to get this gun restored. We have to get a new bridle, a new nipple. I'm going to put a brand new stainless steel nipple on it. I'm also probably going to put a guard on the nipple. A little brass flash guard to keep the powder away from it. The rear sight, you can see the rest of the parts in here. The original rear sight has a broken leaf on it. Okay, you got two sets of leaves. One for 100 yards, and then the long leaf for your 400 yards. okay, right here, and it flips down. That's broken. One ear is broken off that short one. So you can get another sight that's pinned in or screwed in, and I'm going to replace that with an original one. Put that back in. Once I get the whole gun done, here's the hammer. Once I get the entire gun put back together, I'm going to shoot it with a mini ball. And, I'll shoot it not a heavy load or anything like that, but I will be shooting it. I have all the barrel bands. I have all the parts. I just have to clean everything up. I'm debating on what to do about this barrel. I think I'm just going to shine it up a little bit more, but I'm not going to do anything more. I'll just keep it oiled. I'm going to probably take some diamond paper to it and get it just a little bit shinier, and that's it. As far as the hammer and lock and everything goes, I'm going to clean it up really good. I'm not going to really polish it. I'm going to leave it in its an original finish like it is. The butt plate, it looks good. I'm not going to mess with it. Some of the screws need some screw repair. The heads need to be fixed up a little bit. And some of the barrel bands are kind of crusty. Those are going to get cleaned up a little bit. But I'm going to polish the lock mechanism. Here's the spring, the main spring. I'm going to deburr this, polish this, get the sides cleaned up good. That way the lock is nice and smooth when it's running. And then we'll give it a fire. But it's going to be a bit on this one, but I wanted to share this. I bought this gun for $150. I was happy to get it. It's a rare gun. The 1862 Springfield is a rare gun. It's actually called in 1861 because that's the first year. It's a rare gun, not commonly seen anymore. And this one here, with the battlefield repair and the history from the family I got it from, this one was actually in the war, and it probably shot a lot of people. This gun was actually in action quite a bit. How that stock got broke, I'm not sure. They might have hit someone with the butt and broke it, or they might have dropped it and landed on it and broke it. I'm not sure. But how I know it's a battlefield repair is because of the glue they used. That looks like old-time mustard glue, and that's what they used back then. But this is what it is, 1861 Springfield Musket. And some people can shoot them out to 800 yards or so, but you'd be pretty lucky. Like I said, the effective range is 200 to 400 yards. Brand new. In 1861, they were $15. Can you believe that? $15. And that was, that's amazing when you think about it. And made in Springfield, Mass. So we'll have an update on this rifle down the road. We got some more stuff coming up. We also have a raffle coming up. And thanks for watching Pine Tree State Restorations, and we will see you soon.